It's that time of year again, when I decide to watch every horror anthology I know and try and pull it apart in my skull to make some sense. There are so many that I wanted to cover this year that it started as one video and expanded into 2, then 3, and then I found a theme. This year I decided to expand my ever-growing collection of cat-related VHS tapes, and wouldn't you know it, there are a couple that fit the bill. It satisfies my Venn diagram of horror, cats and VHS tapes, but so does a cat chewing on a VHS tape. We will start with the Uncanny. It's a 1977 British-Canadian production with a belter of a cast, starring Peter Cushing as Wilbur Gray. He's an author. Having written a couple of factual bestsellers such as The Pyramids, Why Triangles Are Sexy, and A Brief History of Having My Ass Probed, he's written a new book all about cats and is eager to show his publisher, Frank, who tells him he's only interested because of sugar. He's pretty scared of all cats and we're only a few minutes in. Cats can sense fear and disgust and they absolutely love it. And this book is about to blow their whole game wide open on how they're the devils in disguise. The first case study is set in London in 1912, where a dying old woman, surrounded by her too many cats, updates her will to leave the majority of her assets to them. Toxoplasmosis is a hell of a thing, but I don't know what a cat is going to do with all of this. Nosy housekeeper Janet thinks this is bullshit. She's engaged to Miss Melkin's nephew Michael, who now stands to inherit only the cost of a fancy dinner. So a foolproof plan is hatched. Having stolen the lawyer's copy of the will, they just need to steal the other version kept in Mrs. Melkin's safe. When the old woman dies, they're set for life. As is the case with all foolproof plans, this goes tits up. Or does it? Now she's dead, there's nothing stopping her from... being attacked by 10 fuzzy little guys with knives for hands. They absolutely want this will kept out of her hands, so they can, I don't know, buy a boat. The crew dumps buckets of cats onto the actress. After painting their paws with red food colouring and getting them worked up on catnip, it's showtime. Chased into the pantry with no way out, Janet tends to her wounds while the cats have received their order of catnip in the post, so they're happy. I assume the cats are taking shifts on watching the door because they sleep for up to 20 hours a day and are very easily distracted. She finally can't take it anymore and leaves the pantry armed with a knife. The cats are nowhere to be seen. The house is in a state though. They did a number on the place. Time to get that will. The only problem is the cats are guarding it. Or just sitting on a piece of paper, as cats tend to do. Hello. Beep beep. See? We see that food isn't a huge issue for the cats, as they've used their hunting capabilities to devour the dead woman who loved them the most. But it is what she would have wanted. Cue more cat buckets!
Still no answer.
Well, since neither the lawyer or the nephew have heard from Janet or Miss Melkin in a good few days, they have to come and see what's going on. They rock up and they see that they're both cat food. The nephew sees the will just laying there out in the open. So he decides to... Oh, you fool, Michael, you fool! Now, Mr. Cushion insists that this is an accurate account of events because the solicitor wrote him a letter. Sugar has a business meeting to attend to outside. And since Wilbur is a cat behaviour expert now, he says that a cat meeting up with another cat outside is further proof of their evil doings. Cut to Quebec, 1975. An orphan girl arrives in a new home with her aunt, uncle and cousin after her parents have died in a plane crash. Wellington is also here.
This is Wellington.
I love Wellington. Far from being an understanding and welcoming family, they're pretty much determined to make Lucy's life as miserable as possible.
Now I'll show you my room. It's bigger than yours. That's because I belong here. I'm bigger than you are, so you'll have to do what I say. Because I'm bigger and this is my house. You haven't got a mummy! You haven't got a daddy! You haven't got anybody! Wellington's gone. Gone for good. Daddy took him away this morning. He sold him to the butcher to make into dog's meat. Oh, I don't...
The aunt's saying that cats shed everywhere and it's disgusting, all with a cigarette in her hand. I don't trust her. Bitch. Angela wants a cat of her own now, so much so that she wants to plan a plane crash for her parents too.
Killed in a plane crash. Could I have a cat then?
But for now, she will just have to make do with stealing Welly. And he is not
You're
having
my
this,
friend now,
and won't
aren't you,
even sit
Welly?
still for a portrait. So Angela frames him.
Look what Wellington did.
Not yet satisfied with losing arguments to a cat, she tries to crash a plane into Lucy. But instead, subsequently misses her mark and crashes it into the Sun House. Naturally, this all leads way to blaming Lucy and Wellington, and it's no big deal to get rid of him, because...
She suffered a bigger loss.
Wow, okay, apples don't fall far from the tree, do they? This is also the perfect time for Auntie Joan to get rid of all those weird Wiccan books that are Lucy's only remaining connection to her dead mother, whose photo she also burns. Fortunately, Welly didn't get made into sausages and returns, pointing towards Lucy's last remaining book to give the perfect idea for revenge. All it takes is some chalk and a little bit of reverse psychology to get Angela trapped in a pentagram, where she is shrunk to the roundabout mouse size.
I promise.
You're not such a big girl anymore, are you, Angela? Why, you're no bigger than a mouse.
So there's big props and rear projection galore. Angela was doing fairly well holding her own against a cat that's like 10 times her size now. But all good things have to come to an end.
Angela!
Well, the publisher still isn't convinced with this particular tale of shrinking children. So on to the third story, which will surely cement a massive print run and a New York Times bestseller. Hollywood, 1936. A blade lowers towards a woman on a rack for refusing to marry a man. But this being Hollywood, the director yells cut, and she needs to act harder. Only she wasn't acting. Oh shit, she wasn't acting. Thankfully, the police are super relaxed about it being a simple mix-up of the props. What set doesn't have a razor-sharp pendulum on standby? It's like the medieval version of that whole Brandon Lee ordeal. However, now they're down a leading lady. Even more good fortune that the film's star, VD, played by pleasant Donald Pleasance, who, although he's just lost his wife to this unfortunate accident, knows the perfect replacement. It's his wife's friend, Adina Hamilton, who looks just like her, except younger and sexier. Mr. Pomeroy's happy, Donnie's happy, Adina's happy, and all's well that ends well. So the new squeeze is smitten with the late wife's empty-headed cat called Scat.
What's the matter?
VD threatens it with the catgut factory tomorrow. For tonight, he's been busy killing his old wife and groping the new one.
Player.
Who isn't quite as good at acting as we were led to believe. And she can't quite seem to get the hang of that tricky emotion fear.
On your ways.
No, cut!
I'm crying because this next bit's sad. Meanwhile, Scat has had some babies, who VD quickly dispatches.
And baptize them by total immersion.
The logical side of my brain knows that no kittens were harmed in the making of this film, but me and Scat are still distraught. Upset enough for revenge. Bloody boy.
Watch out!
A swing and a miss. And so ensues a comical chase scene. We know it's comical because of the musical cues.
What is it?
The cat's back!
Shredded satin sheets are the last straw. I nearly thought I wasn't going to be able to say that. Shredded satin sheets, shredded satin sheets, shredded satin sheets. Shredded satin sheets are the last straw for VD and Edie.
How are we going to catch it?
So they devise a cunning plan.
There are more ways than one.
To skin a cat.
Then a few more cunning plans. But Scat is so clever, she doesn't fall for them. And she also knows so much about the inner workings of trapdoors and Iron Maidens, putting the couple's late night rehearsal to an abrupt end.
Well? What's the matter? The cat got your tongue?
Wilbur asserts that this is surely all the proof he needs to show cats are evil and exploiting humans. And he needs this book publishing to warn people. Well, duh. Just before writing this, Candace threw up on a houseplant and Brenda pissed on a spider that was in her litter tray that I then had to clean out and rescue the spider, and then Candace went and jumped on the rescued spider. Cats are evil. Sugar cannot have this valuable and scientific research get out. And a gang of evildoers bring about Wilbur's swift demise. Before hypnotising Frank into burning the manuscript. And us as well, so we have no memory of the occurrences. No, actually, Frank's just feeble-minded. Still, we are going to continue to be exploited by cats forever. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and turn on the little notification bell so you can... Right, I'm just going to wait and read what this actually says. I'm going to stop making it up. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and turn your notifications on so you don't miss part 2 of this cat extravaganza. Until next time.